Right. Hello everyone, it's me, back at it again. And welcome back to Ultrakill. So today we're gonna be finishing up Act 3 and then this series has officially ended. Which I'll be very happy of actually. But then I need to figure out what else to do with my day on YouTube. If you didn't see, I recently uploaded an entire playthrough of the chapters in Deltarune. If you're interested, you can go check them out. They're pretty long. Recorded them both in the same day, around 8 hours of recording. So if you're interested, you want to show me some love, I'd appreciate if you guys watch those. It would mean the world to me. It was quite a lengthy recording, it took a lot of energy out of me, so I would really appreciate that. Anyways. So, first of all, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully everyone's doing great. And I just woke up, like, as I said, like a few hours ago, so I'm pretty tired. I haven't even eaten anything yet. I want to get this recording out of the way, and then I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna take it easy for the rest of the day. I'm probably gonna play some Resident Evil Village, because one of my homies gifted it to me, which I'm very thankful for. It's Resident Evil Village is a pretty good game. I actually kind of like it. It's a lot of fun. Just recently I think I beat the first 2 bosses in that game. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. Also, there was PlayStation State of Play, which was utterly garbage. It was very bad. And then there was Summer Game Fest, which was also pretty garbage, but it had some cool games in it. I'm pretty excited for Resident Evil Requiem, Resident Evil 9. I hope we get to see Leon in that game somehow. It's gonna be pretty interesting, because it's going back to Raccoon City again. So it'll be pretty cool, I think. But otherwise, there really isn't many great games that they showed on it, honestly, which is kind of disappointing to me. But today I think they're gonna show Ultrakill's new layer a bit, or layer 8, which I'm gonna be kinda excited for. I'm probably not gonna watch the live stream of that though. I'm probably gonna wait and just look it up on YouTube whenever it eventually comes out, and then just watch that. I'm probably gonna be just playing Resident Evil Village today and just taking it easy. I also recently tried out Resident Evil 2, and I have a few opinions about that game. In the 2 hours that I spent playing it, the game's good, in my opinion. I would really see myself playing that game. But there's one problem that I have with it, and it's the fact that it's very confusing. Like Resident Evil 2 is extremely confusing to play. Like, I think I spent most of my time in just running around in the RPD. So I played Leon's story first. Because those who don't know, you can play Leon's and Claire's story in that game. So I played Leon's story first because, well, it's Leon. I wanna play as Leon. He's the cool guy of them all. But The problem that I had with it is the fact that I just was so lost, even though I explored almost everything I can think of exploring the game. Like making sure that even the map showed that I've explored that entire area. So it was just extremely confusing to me to play. And I eventually just... because I was so lost in it, I had to just eventually refund it. The thing is, I'd see myself playing that game, but the problem that I also just have with it overall is the fact that I am just so lost in the story with where to go. So I can't really... act and shot comparing just now, but I can't really see myself enjoying the game too much if it's that I'm stuck exploring like the same place, running from room to room. Another problem that I have with the game is the inventory management. I didn't really like the fact that instead of like in Resident Evil 4, instead of like having a big inventory that you can change around and make items fit in it, you had just like six slots or 4 slots at the beginning of the game. I don't remember how many it was, maybe 6. You have like 6 item slots, and each item in your inventory takes 1 of them. So your pistol will take 1 slot, then key items will take another slot, and every other item you pick up, is it gunpowder or healing items or herbs, will always take 1 slot off your inventory. And especially when you're trying to have key items, it just makes it really unbearable to try to carry everything together. I fucking hate this Minotaur, by the way. Yeah. Like, trying to have every key item and everything in your inventory just makes it so unbearably difficult to do. Because of the space that the game gives you is so minimal to use, so you'd have to like constantly run around between the start of the game and the main hub of the game, which is the RPD's main floor, and you need to keep storing items, or then you need to go store items in the RPD, like safety room, whatever the hell it was, like where you have the film area. And the inventory was just such a pain because of like how many items you have to carry with the very limited inventory space you have to work with also. So I just really disliked it for that fact, because I don't want most of the game that I play to be centered around me running from like one empty room that I haven't explored yet to find a key item, and then I realize that I have full inventory full of like herbs and gunpowder and a few key items that I need to explore with. You know, it's like, I don't want to trash those items, I would like to keep them. So then I have to run all the way back to a save point where I can store my item. And it just makes the gameplay like really dull. But like, I could see myself playing the game, I really could, but those are just such like minuscule problems that I have with it that really drag out the game for me, that just make me not really enjoy it too much. But like, otherwise the game is cool, the RPD area is pretty cool. Like, everything else about the game is cool, but I just really dislike the fact that you need to run around so much with such limited inventory space in your hands. And that's why I just don't really like it as much as stuff like Resident Evil 4. Like 4 is probably one of the most perfect examples of a really good Resident Evil game in my opinion. Like Resident Evil 4 is perfect. The puzzles aren't too confusing. Like I remember trying to open one of those stupid vaults, like those RPD vaults that you get in your inventory. I remember trying to open one of those and it's so much of just trial and error that I really hated doing it. It's like you need this correct combination of buttons to press, and if you press one wrong then they all reset and you have to remember which button lights up which light, and it's just really annoying to deal with. Same goes for the vaults, like the actual vaults with the code. Like the fucking, what's it called again? The saves. Yes, the saves. I thought for like 10 minutes straight that for each save number that you put in, you had to accept it. Like with the button that like accepts the stuff you do, like your interact button. Like I thought you would have to accept each number like after another. So like if it says like one of them was like right 15 and then left 7, or like left 7 and right 15, right? So you do that, you go for right 7, let's just say that, and then you press accept, and the thing resets, it resets, and then it puts you back into like Leon's POV, and it shows the safe in front of you. And then after that you do go for the second one and you press accept again, and then you go for the third one and you press accept, and nothing happens. The save doesn't open. Then you're just like left all confused and thinking like, what are you doing wrong? So I did that for 10 minutes trying to figure out what the hell the save wasn't opening that I had the combination for. And after that I realized, or actually no, I didn't realize anything. I had to look it up because I was losing my head trying to figure it out during maybe the 2 hours of time I had to try out the game before I refunded it. But I was like thinking to myself like, what the fuck is this? Why is it not working? So I look it up, see if I had somehow taken the wrong combination. Somehow. But then I looked it up and I didn't have the wrong combination. Like, I had the right combination and everything, but it just wasn't working for me. So I looked it up and I saw a Reddit post of someone talking about like, oh, have you tried to like not accept it whenever you press a number? And then I'm just looking at it thinking to myself like, there's no way that this is the only reason why it didn't work for me, because I kept pressing accept like I would expect it to work. But that was the problem. The problem was me pressing interact keys after each number because I thought that's how it worked. So I was stuck sitting there for 10 minutes thinking to myself like, why the fuck doesn't this not work? So after looking it up, I finally realized how it was. And after that, well, it was smooth sailing kind after that. Even though I was still stuck on thinking like what to do. Like I didn't find any of the medallions. I ran into one licker and I killed him, and then I was like, okay, cool, what do I do now? I found the C4, I didn't have any detonator, I tried shooting the C4 if it was like a shortcut I could do in the game. But nothing just worked. And I was left very confused. So it kind of bummed me out, because it really looks like a game that I could enjoy and I could play, but the very just minuscule things that I had the trouble of dealing with when trying out the game was just too much. Like, really bumped down the experience for me. But I would suggest that game for other people. I'm not saying it's bad. I actually really would enjoy it, as I said. But maybe I'm just too stupid for the game. But the inventory management with the key items that you need to run around constantly, and just every small thing like really told me to just stop playing. It's like, I remember when I got the bolt cutters and I was like, oh, I know what I can open with this. I looked at the map, I had to run all the way to the other side of the map just to open one door. And I'm like, okay, let's go. We're making progress now. And I still haven't found any of the medallions. Mr. X wasn't even running in the building. I don't even know when he decides to run in the building. Because I was so sure that, like, when the airplane fell... Spoiler alert, but I think a lot of people already know that. But, so, like, there's this airplane that falls in a cutscene. Like, that's always how Mr. X appears in the game. That's the only way I've seen him appear in, like gameplay that I've seen. He always, like, pulls up the airplane and then he just starts chasing after you. And I was like, okay, well, Mr. X could appear now, and I was like really scared of that airplane, and I was thinking to myself like, well, I don't want to face Mr. X. I don't want to have him run around yet, because I haven't found anything to do here. And then eventually I decided to man the fuck up. I went towards the plane, and he didn't appear. And I was like, isn't he supposed to appear here? And I'm like, maybe it's just for Claire's story and not for Leon's. But yeah, like I didn't even see Mr. X. It was really quiet, just dealing with the excess zombies that have appeared in the building every now and then from outside. And like, it just really wasn't that much fun at those moments where I just had to run. Like, I had to just run around from the other side of the map to the other. And it really just bummed me out. Because, well, I've never really played Resident Evil games, okay? You guys gotta remember that. I've never really played them. My first ever Resident Evil game that I actually played was Resident Evil 4 Remake, which was the one that I've spent most time on. I spent 60 hours playing that game, getting a professional difficulty, S+, and doing most of the achievements except for DLC stuff. I didn't do ADAS, the DLC S+ professional. I didn't do that. But I've spent 60 hours playing that game. It's the most played Resident Evil game that I currently have, because I don't have any other ones except for now I have Village and 7, because, as I said, my homie, my guy, bought me the collection where the both games are, for 20 bucks. He gifted it to me and I was like, yeah, thanks. So, Resident Evil Village is so far pretty enjoyable. It's pretty scary, I think. It's also a lot of fun to just play. I would probably prefer the third person still, but I do have the DLCs also because of the gold edition, so I could play that game in third person. But I haven't downloaded the DLC with the game. I just downloaded the base game to play it like immediately. So Resident Evil Village is a lot of fun. Resident Evil 4 is my favorite. Arguably, it's definitely my favorite out of all of them. Resident Evil 2 is probably the worst one I've tried so far, but it's still good. I'm not saying that it's like a bad game. But it's fun. Resident Evil 2 is fun, but I was just too stupid to really understand what to do in it, so I had to refund it because I wasn't able to figure out anything until it was, well, actually no, it wasn't even too late to try and figure out anything because I just genuinely didn't figure out what to do in that game. Like, I didn't find any of the medallions you need to go forward. I didn't find like anything that would serve as key items except for the spade key. Like, that was the only thing that I actually managed to find. I don't even remember if it's just like a forced item pickup or not. But that was the one key item that I actually managed to find in the game, and it just really bummed me out. Like, the game seems so much fun, but I just have like no key items to go forward with, and it just really sucked the joy out of it in the end, and I had to refund it because I just couldn't see myself bother trying to spend most of my time running around the same building. And especially more so because, well, it was my money that I spent for it, and I would like to get my money back if I wasn't having any fun with it, you know. It's kind of the deal with it. So, you know, I was just really bummed out about it. I wanted to keep my money because I wasn't really enjoying it with all the running around I have to do. Resident Evil Village is a different thing. My friend gifted it to me, it's not my own money, I don't have to worry about, like, not really having fun in it if I have to explore the entire area. But in Resident Evil Village I actually, like on my own I actually decided to go exploring like more of the area to find like all the secrets and the treasure and everything that I could find. Like, I spent a lot of time by myself doing that, like on my own volition. Like, I wanted to go explore the area to find the treasure that I want. You know? Like, with Village it wasn't... Or with Village it isn't like, oh, I don't wanna explore this area to get more treasure. Like, I genuinely walked back and forth multiple times just to get said treasure items. So that kind of tells how much like I prefer Village, I think, currently over 2. I feel like the gameplay in Resident Evil Village is just a bit more fast-paced, a bit more fluid compared to Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 2's camera system is a bit funky also, I think. I wouldn't say that it's necessarily bad, but especially coming from Resident Evil 4, where the camera system is like extremely fluid and well made. It kind of makes it weird to play. But it's still a fun game. Don't get me wrong. I really still enjoyed Resident Evil 2 for what it was. But it was just too difficult to get anything started in that game. Now, you guys can say that it's a skill issue, and I will allow it because I feel like it genuinely is a bit of a skill issue on my part. as for like why I couldn't really figure out anything to do in that game. So you guys can say that it's a skill issue. I will genuinely allow it being called a skill issue, because I really think that it is. Also, if you guys have any Resident Evil games you would want me to check out, I've been thinking about maybe getting Resident Evil like the first ones, maybe Resident Evil 3 remastered. That's the one that I've had on my mind. Resident Evil 3 remaster, but I've heard a lot of not so good things about it. I've heard people say that it's probably the worst remaster out of all of them. But if you guys have any like ideas about Resident Evil 3, if it's like similar to Resident Evil 2, then I won't probably check it out. But if it's somewhat different, then if you guys could tell me about it if you've ever played it, then I would really appreciate that, because I would actually want to really genuinely check out that game. But if it's somewhat similar to Resident Evil 2, then I will probably not do that, because, well, if it's the same inventory style and everything, then it'll probably be left in the dust for me and I probably won't ever try it. Well, I will probably try it, but I'm not like... I probably won't be that big of a fan of it as I am of Resident Evil 4, right? Like, I think Resident Evil 4, for everyone who's new to Resident Evil games, is probably, like, arguably the best Resident Evil game to start with. At least in my opinion, like, I really would say that it is the best out of all of them. And after that, well, currently I would say Village, because, well, I'm currently playing Village and I'm enjoying my time with it. So I would say Resident Evil 4 and then Village would be like my suggestions for new players. Resident Evil 7 I know pretty well, so that's why I downloaded 8 first, or like Village first, for it. So Resident Evil 7 I actually know pretty well already, and it's not a bad game. I think it's worse than Village by definitely by far. But Resident Evil 7 is pretty good also, I think. I would suggest that to people too, but I would always, if someone asks me like what's a good Resident Evil game to get into the games with, I would tell them to try out Village or Resident Evil 4 Remastered. Like, I think those are the most fleshed out games out of all of them. Obviously the time period for when they came out is different, so it's understandable that the games improve over time. But I think Resident Evil 4 and Village are just like, I think currently they are at the peak for me with Resident Evil games. Obviously I haven't played any other ones except 7, Village and 4, and I tried out 2, but I didn't like it. So yeah, if you guys want to check out Resident Evil games, then those are my opinions for you guys that I would suggest. But whatever you find interesting, check them out. You don't have to follow what I say, you know. It's always about what you feel like trying out. So remember that. But yeah, I really didn't commentate at all on the Ultrakill thing. We beat the game. We did the thing. So this is the Doom file that we had, so that's done now. So that's finished, and now we're on my main save file once again. So yeah, if you guys have any like Ultrakill related things you want to see me do, leave them in the comments below. I'll check them out and I'll see if it sounds interesting enough for me to play, or if it sounds something that I would actually like to do. And if you guys want to, like, I'm still saying it, if you guys are interested, I can play through Undertale here on this channel. And I probably might do that anyway at some point after finishing up Deltarune. Which, if you guys are interested, please go check them out. But it really took a long time for me to do all of that. Even though it isn't edited at all, it's really strains my voice talking constantly for 8 hours straight almost, like back to back. I did have like a 10-15 minute break between the recordings, but that's pretty much all I had. So if you guys could show me some love, it would mean the world to me. It really strains the voice that I have. So I would appreciate it. You don't have to if you don't want to. If it's not something you feel like watching, then don't. But to those who are interested, then they are there. And I would appreciate if you guys check them out. But that's it from me with Ultrakill today. I'm gonna go eat breakfast finally at 10 AM. And after that, I'm probably gonna play some Resident Evil Village. Yeah. So, if you guys have any interesting things you want to see me do, you want to see me play and just chat while I play them, then leave me suggestions. I'm always free to them and open to suggestions that you have. Maybe some chill games like Nubby's Number Factory or Minecraft or I don't know, something. I'm usually pretty open to just chatting while playing games that I have, so if you guys are interested at all in anything, then leave me a suggestion, I'll check it out. If it's a game I have, and if it's not, I'll check them out if it's something that I might see myself playing. But yeah, I appreciate all of you, I love you all, take care of yourselves, and it is my time to go eat breakfast. So, as always, thank you for watching this, I appreciate all of you. Good day, good evening, and of course, good night everyone.